I remember the first time I had a pupusa, and I was like, this is incredible. If you gave everyone at the border a pupusa, they'd be like, holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
Let these bad boys come in here. Like, these live shows have to be good so people want to come back and see me again.
Just appeared on Netflix, made it to the top 6 of Kevin Hart's new show, Funny AF. Not only is this my moment, it has to work.
So like my anxiety brain's like, what do we got to do? Like, we're proud, and I'm like, I am proud, but it's like, if I don't sell these damn tickets, that's it.
I'm back to room 808.
Yeah, just have a residency.
Welcome everybody to the Martin Amini Show. Today we have a very special guest. It's so cool to have someone that I've known for so many years, and he's worked his way up. He's at this really cool, special moment where he had just appeared on Netflix, made it to the top 6 of Kevin Hart's new show, Funny AF. He's a DC young legend. And, you know, every so often you get to be around a peer or a friend that has their moment. I experienced this 3-4 years ago with my close friend, Matt Rife, seeing him blow up, go to the next level. I had my own moment in 2023 where I got signed, got to go on tour for the first time. Very exciting stuff. And now being around Winston Hodges, this gentleman is getting ready. As of today, I looked at his website, a lot of cities.
Yeah, it's crazy.
A lot of dates, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And on top of that, he decided to get married right before all this takes off. Yeah. So I got to ask you, brother, like, how are you feeling right now when you're having your legitimate moment after all these years? First off, how many years have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing it 11 years.
Man.
So, yeah, 11. So it'll be, it's been 11. I had 11 years in March. So it's been, it's crazy.
How are you feeling in this moment, emotionally, physically, spiritually, the whole thing? What are you feeling?
Yeah, man, it's weird because it's like it still feels really surreal. Like I think getting the dates on the calendar feels crazy, but I think it'll feel even more crazy that first tour show in Nashville. Like when I'm on stage and like I get my first Wednesday, my agent sending me the first round of like, hey, here's what your tickets are at, like to see. So I think seeing those numbers will be, because I'm
the little Excel spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets of like, okay, this is what we're doing, this is what we want to hit. And you know, there's some cities I'm more nervous about than others, but like I feel good, man. I feel like I don't want this to be like, you know, a flash in the pan. So like my anxiety brain's like, what do we got to do? Like what type of content do we have to do to keep pushing it? Like these live shows have to be good so people want to come back and see me again. And then just also like, you just got to make sure that every bit of content is like planned about like, this has to go out then, this has to say this has to let people know about me. So I'm feeling good, but it is a crazy next step because I didn't think it was gonna happen. So it's it's really crazy.
Just want to let you know all your feelings are valid.
Yeah.
I went through the exact same range of emotions and everyone thought I was crazy. I had one friend, close friend, childhood friend say, hey man, I just want you to just take this all in and enjoy it. And I yelled at him. Yeah. I said, no, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Not only is this my moment, it has to work.
Yeah.
Like I have to kill and then kill again and then come back next year and double up or triple up. This is not the time to fucking relax and enjoy this.
No, I feel the same. It's so funny because my wife's doing the same thing where she's like, you should be proud. And I'm like, I am proud, but it's like, if I don't sell these damn tickets, that's it.
I'm back to room 808.
Just have a residency.
Yeah, dude.
But it's crazy because I was so happy with what my life was. And then you get this opportunity and my brain's like, well, it has to work because it's like, you can't have the opportunity and then lose it because then it's like, people are going to be like, oh, what did you do? What happened?
The what ifs.
Yeah,
and the crazy thing is, we've been around, you do comedy long enough, you are around those what ifs a lot. You see the what ifs. You're like, damn, what happened to that guy?
Yeah, and that dude usually looks broken. Yeah. A what if guy's never happy with his life.
No, it's never a good
miserable.
Look.
You're
yeah,
like, oh,
dude.
Shit, dude.
And then on top of that, so you got married, a month ago?
Yeah, we got married March 27th.
Damn.
So pretty quickly.
What was it? Was it intentional to get married right before you start touring, or was it all this? Was this already pre?
It was all kind of pre-planned. Like we got engaged in December of 24, and then we were like, we're going to be engaged for a year. Mm-hmm. And then like as the year went on, and I got on the Kevin Hart show, we started realizing we got to pick a date, and we're like, oh, well, we'll just pick a date in the spring. We'll just do a date in the spring, and that was like the first Friday that we could find. But little did I know I was going to make you know, the top 10 and then like top 8, top 6. Oh, now you got to come back to the live show. I didn't know I'd be flying back and forth. Like I didn't know I was going to be passed at the Comedy Cellar, so I didn't know I was going to be going back and forth to New York. Like it was all stuff where it was planned, and then by the time you have the date locked in, like I can't like look at my wife and be like, "Hey, babe, I think we should push this. We should push this wedding."
So that was never considered to push it back.
No, the only way it would have gotten pushed back is if, like, for whatever reason, they'd have been like, "Hey, the Kevin Hart semifinals is that day." Like that's the only thing, and we talked about it because they kept changing the dates on us and when like different stuff was. So we were like, "Okay, we think we're good for March," because they said March or they said maybe April. Like keep these dates open, but that's the only thing. And she's like, "We'll move it for that." She's like, "I'm not dumb."
How's your wife handling all this stuff?
Better than I am.
This is exciting.
Yeah, she loves it, dude. She's like feeling good. She's like, it's like having a second agent, because anytime I get my like offers and stuff, she wants to look at the offer and kind of see like, she's like, "Oh, this is good," and she's like, "Oh, I know people in this city, so like I can send it to these people." She's like, "Oh, I got family here, so we'll sell X number of tickets in this city," and like so she's really excited. She's commenting on everything, and she's always been super supportive and invested, but she is very much like she's
like dialed in.
She's locked in, dude.
That's kind of cool, man.
It's awesome, man.
It's cool to see having a partner that shares that passion.
Yeah, dude. It's
you're very lucky, and you know you're part of this very unique elite club in comedy where you're married. And it's which, you know, the longer you do comedy, you don't really see a lot of healthy marriages.
Well, dude, I'm sure you're on the road and like I can't even imagine if you had like a bunch of single openers that were like, you know what I mean, trying to go out and party, and you're like, "Hey man, I'm going back to the room."
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, my camera team knows, man. We're just gonna do some Uber Eats.
Yeah, dude. Have
some like, you know, spiritual conversations at the end of the night.
That's what it's about, man. Just having like a chill night and like not because it is weird, because it's like I remember doing some road stuff early and I was single, and it just was be like you'd feel an obligation like, "Oh, we got to go out. Like these people want to hang out and we got to do that." And man, I'm so excited to just be like, go back to the hotel room after the show, like hang out with friends, gets good food in these different cities. But like, man, but it's nuts, dude. I don't know how you do does Charlene go with you on the road? Okay.
I mean, I think because what happened was it was very similar to you. I had I got signed. I was doing these one-nighter offer sheets, and then things kind of happened rapidly from there. Like we started doing full weekends, so it was never any stops from 2022-ish to now of just straight touring. Yeah. And so when I first started going out to these cities, I remember it was Louisville, Kentucky. She was like, "Why haven't you texted me?" I said, "Well, babe, I got to the venue. This is my first time here. I got to, you know, do the whole small talk with the managers, talk, you know, and like do the thing. They don't know me. I don't know them. So you're introducing." And then it wasn't until she started coming on the road with me, she goes, "Oh, I get it." Because like it is a little, you got to do the, "Hey, how's it going?" Meet the staff, meet the GM, meet the sound guy, know where to set up the cameras. You know, one thing I found is like when the ticket sales are good, they're really nice. Yeah. Like, "Man, is there anything else you need? We just got some extra."
That's so funny.
Yeah, you get like chopped fruit in the green room waiting for you. But when those ticket sales are light, let me tell you something, man.
Yeah, and I think that's what my worry is. It's like, I do know that it's all that first, like those one-nighters or whatever, it's all about like building, and then like the next time you come through, do you sell more? But my brain is just like, man, what if I don't sell? And then they're just like, "Oh, you ain't never coming back to this place, man." Like,
well, one thing that you have that a lot of comics don't have is you got that hustle, man. Yeah. You got that hustle, you got that grind. One thing I will say, when you were doing the taping for Netflix, you were here at Room 808, working on your stuff, running your material, setting up the little camera while on Netflix. Yeah. You know, and like one of the biggest platforms in the world, being seen by millions of people, and you're here grinding it out, you know, in front of like 40, 50 people on a Wednesday or whatever it was, or Thursday. And like that's something that's been, but I've noticed that well before you got the taping, you've been on fire the past 2-3 years here locally in DC.
Yeah, the local stuff's been going really
which caught me not by surprise, but I've known because I'm not around. Yeah, so I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, because you're out doing your own thing, and then you come back, and it's like,
and I'm like, wait, Winston Hodges is the guy? Like, how did that happen? You know what I mean? Dude. But it caught me. It was one of those moments. I'm like, whoa, like, because you know, sometimes when you have this impression of a comic when you first saw them or when they're around,
and if you're not around, that's all you remember, and you forget like, oh, it's been years. Because you're just like, oh, it's just the last time I saw that guy, not like, oh, it's been 3 or 4 years. years. Like, oh man, he's been out. Yeah, man, I've always tried to work hard, man. And like spaces like here and like the other spots around town where it's like you can not only work on stuff, but like the crowds are really good. And so like you're getting a good feel of like what actually works on the road, man.
Yeah, you can shout out the other venues. I'm not a hater.
Oh yeah, no, 808, man. Well, I'd like to make sure that I'm not trying.
No,
I know
but
you're not a hater,
because,
but I'm on my media training right now.
No.
It's like there's other places, but room 808.
Yeah, no. Because shout out to Hotbed, DC Improv. Like it's all very positive. One thing I've learned is like for comedy, you need a community. You need like other rooms, and I'm hoping that these conversations can push things forward with like the local politics. And hey, man. Our guy made it, Winston. He's on Netflix. Yeah. It's a win for everybody. He gets exposure. Dude. Hey, man, I'm on tour the past 3 years. I made some money. I opened up a club. It's nice.
It's a good club.
People get stage time here, and they
people talk about it all over, man. I talk about here a lot whenever I'm on the road or in New York and stuff. Like this 808 comes up like a lot in conversation.
Dude, so. I was in Alpharetta, Georgia, doing Helium.
Yeah,
and I was outside doing meet and greets, and then Emma Willman, she was there. She was in a small room, and she goes, "Hey man, like, dude, I've been hearing things about Room 808, man."
Yeah, dude.
And then she was just like, "Yeah, Winston Hodges, he was at the cellar." And she's like, that's when you're on the road, like all we do is like gossip and talk. Even though it's like we're out in the hallway, why are we whispering right now?
That's so funny, dude.
But it was like, but when she said that, I already liked you, but I was like, damn, that's like really, because I didn't know that. I was like, oh, that's. He's like, oh, he's talking like.
No, man, I'd like to shout out the people that have helped me and have like give us a space to perform. Like, I don't know, man. It's like I'm a big, like I do hustle. I'm a big believer in like you got to work hard, but I also think that like part of the ecosystem of comedy is like when you're on shows at these venues, whether it's here or Hotbed or the Improv or whatever. I think the reciprocal thing is the venue gives you a great place to showcase yourself. They can bring the audience in, so you may not have to do as much promotional work, but I think you owe it to the venue to like talk positively about it, to do a good job when you're here, to like reciprocate, like, oh, now we're trying to make return customers, like that type of shit. I think it's important, man. Also, I think it's important to tell people, like, I don't know, people should quit sleeping on DC, man. Like, it's like an incredible comedy city with great rooms every night of the week. And there's some really, really good comics in the city. There's comics that are like, you, me, and several others where it's like we're having actual careers. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we get to live somewhere we like to live and be surrounded by people we like. Well, you gave me one of the highest
compliments I ever received not that long ago, saying like, you decided not to move to New York or LA because you saw me being able to tour out of DC.
Yeah, dude. When I saw that it was a thing that was able to be done, I was like, oh, great. Then I'm gonna just stay here and just do the travel, because I'm just happier here. And I do think that like mental health and like just having a good quality of life for me, I think I would like spiral in a city like New York or LA. I just don't think I have it in me. Dude, I don't think I'm not built for that, man.
Dude, I went to LA in 2022, met my wife, got my agent and manager, and got the hell out.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. It was a quick little Navy SEALs operation.
I didn't know y'all met in SoCal. I didn't know y'all met in LA. That's cool.
Yeah. And she was really cool enough to move out here with me and start a life out here on the East Coast. With, no family, no nothing. But she believed in the vision. She believed in like, babe, I own a comedy club there. I can tour. I can build I need a place to do my get my reps in.
Yeah.
So she didn't really know comedy at all, what it takes. And I don't think most people know how much you have to go up.
Yeah. You have to go up a lot.
What it requires to build a set.
And every night off is like, sacrifice isn't the right word, because it's like, I do like spending time with my wife too, but like every night off is like, hey, like it's not just like, oh, I'm taking a day off work. It's like, hey, like this stuff is exponential, like how much better you get every time you perform.
Oh, so I was going to ask you, like, so, it's well documented. You're a killer on stage. You're doing your thing. You're at a high level. There's a theory that like sometimes comics have like something wrong with them that like that pushes them to this level of like comedic, prowess. So what's your mental illness? Do you believe in that theory? Do you believe that comics have to have something, whether it's like a childhood thing, or like some type of trauma, or is it possible you could have like a great upbringing? You were like the homecoming king. You were voted best look, like, and still become like a world-class comic. Is that possible?
I think it is possible a little bit. Like, it's like I have a good background. Like, my family was great. Like, I have no negatives about my upbringing at all. But I think it's not even about the upbringing. I just think something has to be a little off. And I think my thing that's off is it's like I really, really like need people to like me. Like it is a thing, and I do think it's just like for whatever reason, and it wasn't because I didn't get enough love as a kid. My parents were so loving, my family's still loving.
Well, what about at school? Were you bullied?
No, not really. I mean, I was up just joking, like I was being funny and having fun.
Yeah.
I've always had like good friend groups or whatever.
To be fair, though, you grew up in a small town.
It is tiny, yeah.
So it's not that big of a crowd.
No, it's not a big crowd. They didn't have a lot of options. Yeah. We didn't have a lot. Yeah, it was either me or like two other guys. So you had to pick which one. But I do think for me, it's the mindset of like, I want to be liked. I want to make people proud. And like, so my mental thing is like, I'll be down on myself about like stuff that I should be happy about, where it's like if I have a good set, it never feels good enough, or like getting on this Netflix thing is a big deal, but it also like my brain's like, oh man, I wish I'd have made top 4, like, oh, I wish I could have won, but even though my brain's like, oh, it doesn't matter.
But where does that come from?
Exactly.
Like what's going on? Like, you don't know?
I don't know.
You haven't talked to a therapist about that?
No, that's so funny because every time I've had a therapist, I never talk about any of that stuff. I always talk about other shit. I probably should start talking about.
Well, the only reason why I'm just curious because that's probably what intrigues me about you, because you know, you are the funniest comic in DC, but also the hardest working. And the funniest thing is like, because I know a lot of funny people, but the hardest working is a thing that like I'm more interested, because I'm a hard worker too.
I also just like it, man.
Huh?
It's rewarding. There is like my dad was a really hard worker. All the people in my family, immediate family, have always worked really, really, really hard. And I'm someone that like in jobs that I haven't liked, I don't work very hard. Like I am, like every job I had, like that I didn't like, I never worked really hard. I worked hard at teaching and I worked hard at comedy. And it's because it feels good and I like it. It's just like, oh, but like, man, I used to work at a car dealership. I didn't work hard at that shit at all. I didn't care about that fucking job. That job was trash.
What kind of cars were you selling?
Dude, I wasn't even selling. I was in like the service department. So if your car was messed up, you would come talk to me and I'd be like, oh, it's going to be $2,000 to fix it. And I would just get yelled at every day. Mm-hmm. And then so I would just be like, whatever, man. I would be cutting deals that I had no ability to cut deals on. I'd be going into the ticket and changing what the price is and be like, oh, I guess the computer messed up, man, because I didn't feel like getting yelled at anymore.
But so the next job was teaching. That was the one that like you were passionate about.
Yeah, it was good, man. That was the first job I ever had where I was like, if comedy doesn't work out, I will have a job where I'm not going to be miserable. Like it's like it feels good. But comedy, man, it just hits different, man. Just being on stage and it's just fun. I'll go to bed at night being like, oh, I got to do 5 sets tonight. Yeah. Oh, I did 5, and my brain's like, ooh, other people only did 3, and I got to do 5.
So I met you at Big Hunt. That's probably where I saw you first.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we talked like that, but it was like around 2018.
Yeah.
You were like getting spots like towards the end of the show.
Yeah, I would get like, so I got in there first when I was coming up with like, I would come up to watch Chris Allen. So like Chris was my friend, so he would get spots. And my first time at Big Hunt, I got thrown on by one of the hosts on like a Wednesday or a Thursday because the show needed to start and there were no other comics there. So Chris was like, Winston's a comic, he can go first. And so I went up, did a little 5-minute set, and then I met Sean and people. And so the way it would work is I would get one spot whenever I was working the improv. So if I was working the improv, Sean would let me send a message and be like, hey, I'm going to be in town if I could get one of the 11. And it would just always be at like 1:35,
right,
1:40 in the morning. Right. But I'd be hanging out all night. I'd be there the whole time. But
those are some good, I mean, for me, I can't speak on your experience, but like that was probably like the peak moments for me in DC comedy, because those were like my boys were like Chris Milner, Dylan Meyer, Benji Himmelfarb. That was like my crew that I came up with, like best friends in comedy. Yeah. A lot of tragedy around that group. And that kind of like set the tone for like the rest of my career, because Dylan passed away tragically. Chris Miller shortly after got deported. Yeah. And then Benji just quit comedy.
He just quit stand-up.
So my entire core friendship group was gone.
Yeah.
And so it was almost like, and then I had my glow up, right? Like not that long after Benji quit. Yeah. And it was like, damn, dude, I'm on the road. I'm selling tickets, and none of my boys are around.
Yeah, they're not, like, they're either gone or passed away or not doing it. Yeah, that's got to be nuts to have like that big, because I'm the opposite, which is like I'm in this like cool moment and I'm trying to enjoy it, but like all the people that I do it with are still around, and it is like a weird. So like I'm thinking like, oh man, it would be weird to like go through like this big moment, this big opportunity, and then look around and be like, man, you're like the only person that either made it or stuck it out. Which is crazy, dude.
Well, not to hit like a tragic segue, but I did before we did this, sat down today, I got a chance to watch your special that you taped in 2020, Grieving.
Yeah, Productively.
Productively.
Thanks, man.
Which was a very like, dog, it made me super emotional. I was very like, I feel like I learned a lot about you.
Thanks, man.
And it was very well done. And I encourage a lot of people to check it out. I think like in years from now, when you get your bigger glow up, people will go back to that as like some of the content that you're like, whoa, this guy, he's got something.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That was like a thing where he passed away, my dad, and then I just worked on these jokes for a year, and then COVID hit, and I was like, well, I want to release them. So I just had to just sat in my room and did all these different editing things. And yeah, that was the first time I've ever like had a project in comedy that wasn't just, oh, I'm just going to write jokes. It was like, this is what I want to talk about. Because you talk about a lot of like super personal stuff too. You know what I mean? Like it's your, like I remember the jokes I remember most from you when you started was just talking about your dad and your family, like that type of stuff. And that stuff, I don't know, man, there's something about that shit that it just I think resonates with people. And they're the jokes people can't take from you. Because it's like, you know what I mean? Who else is going to be able to tell those jokes? They are, they're just you.
You had this one line that like I wrote it down, a couple lines from the special that like I was like, damn, I gotta run it back in front of you. So you had this one joke. Let's see. Well, first off, you performed. I believe one of the scenes was at his gravesite.
Yeah.
So you're performing at his gravesite in the special. It's one of the scenes. And while
I was doing that, and there were people driving by, and they looked at me like I was fucking insane because I was out there and I had to run a cord from my car.
Oh my God.
All the way out there so my car's running like 130 feet away. And
so you got an extension cord?
I had an extension cord so that I could power the camera and I could power the audio.
So all these other dead people were like, yo, what the fuck?
Like, what's going on, dude?
Or they getting a free show. They're like, hey, I like that one.
Yeah. There'd be people going in and out of the church being like, what's going on? They're like, oh, that's JB's son. He's not right. So we're just going to let him.
There's one. It goes, while discussing your podcast, Dead Dad's podcast. I don't know if that's a discontinued podcast or not.
It's discontinued.
But
Might bring it
you
back,
would say, I would trade it all, but this is great for my career.
Yeah.
It was like and I saw you kind of like put your hand over your face. And,
I couldn't believe I said, that was one of those ones.
But it was like, man, like that's a wild line, but it's also like so fun. Like it was almost like therapeutic, like, you know, being able to like do dark jokes in front of your dead, like on your dead,
was crazy,
on a
man.
gravesite.
It was super cathartic because that when I filmed that was the first time I'd gone back to his grave. It was like too hard to do, but I told myself, you're gonna go, and I went on the 1 year anniversary, and I just went and just like before the filming stuff, I just took like 30 or 40 minutes and just kind of like was present, you know what I mean? Let myself cry, let myself be sad, let myself deal with it, and then was like, do I really want to do this? And so. But yeah, it was like that moment was like really, I don't even remember a ton of doing it because it was just such a, you know what I mean? Like
you were in the zone though.
Yeah, out of body almost.
Those are my favorite because the special cuts between that scene and then a Zoom, and then a few other like during the pandemic shows.
Yeah, just outdoor ones, live
shows. It was like
shows
a little nice little montage, different scenes, and then you had another. You discussed like on the special where like it's hard to joke about. Like missing your dad because most comedians don't like their dads. Yeah, and like you like your dad, so like you grieving, it's like it's kind of hard to have people relate to your grieving.
It would be, dude. I had so many comedian friends that were just like, yeah, man, I guess that's hard that your dad's dead. And I was like, yeah, it's hard. they're like, oh, I don't talk to my dad. I'm like, well, me either anymore. You know?
Yeah, that's so cool though that like you had that relationship with your dad, and then even like post his like since his passing, you were able to have like that go back to the gravesite and like. Yo, like run the jokes by him. Like, yo, these are the jokes.
It felt good, man. It was. I had a good, nice cry after the cameras went off because it started to rain. It was like this weird. The day was crazy because the weather was perfect until I got to the end, and then as it ended, and I was turning the cameras off, it had started to like drizzle and rain, and I was like, oh,
bro,
man,
it was beautiful. And this is the last one.
Thanks,
we could talk about from that one. Like towards the end of the special, you're talking about like the grieving hasn't like kicked in yet.
Yeah.
But you don't want the grief to like kick in at the wrong moments, like on stage or around your friends. You want the grief to kick in 55 minutes into a Verizon phone call.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Oh man, I'm glad you appreciate that one. Yeah, man, I just knew, because grief does like hit you in waves, and when it would hit me, it hit me a couple times when I was teaching, and that was awful because I'd have to excuse myself, and the kids would ask why I was like upset and like why I was crying. But dude, it was so fun when it would hit me, and I was like, man, I'm about to unload on somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody that really deserves it's about to get it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's called Grieving Productively.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with that? Like, that's a dope ass title.
Yeah, I like lucked into that one. I don't even really know where that first like name came from or that line came from. It just was like a thought that I had where like it might have come from like my therapist, because we were just talking about like just grief in general, about like how I was going to deal with it. And then I think I said something about like, he said something to me that like grief doesn't necessarily have to be productive. It's like a thing that he said. He's like, you don't necessarily have to, when you're sad about something, have a big revelation afterwards. It's like, it's okay to just kind of be sad for a while. Yeah. And then I think I just told him, I was like, well, what do I do to have productive grief? And then I was like, oh, I kind of like that, the flow of that. I don't know. There's just something about like having, and I'd always wanted something with a cool title. So
I mean, bro, I like where your mind's at, because like, you know, think like my parents are both alive, but the immigrant child in me would be chasing some type of like, how can I monetize?
Yeah.
How can I?
Well, my thing's like, damn, man, if I'm gonna be sad, I don't want to be sad and broke.
Well, I mean, you know, watching that special and then seeing you now, it's not hard to like, you know, see that like, man, this guy went to another level.
Yeah.
Like you definitely, from like your onstage presence,
dude,
it's like another gear.
It's crazy, man. I do feel like, I don't think I always notice it when it's happening, but like when you look back, and like there's specific moments where it was like going into COVID, I felt like I hit another level, and then coming out of COVID after being in DC for 2 years, it felt different. And then this past year, it's felt different. Like looking back, being like, oh man, I just feel like I handle myself differently.
Yeah.
The jokes that I used to do, they're either better now or I drop them because they don't fit what I'm doing. Like, it's just all these things that you kind of notice, like, oh, I'm more comfortable on stage. I'm doing better in front of different crowds than I used to, type of thing. And you know, I give much love to places like here and Hotbed and stuff for that, because it's just like, it's different when you're in like Richmond, Virginia, or on the road working like country rooms, and you know, and you're getting like, you know, white people in between their 40s and 60s. That you know, you want to do well for everybody, but like that's one crowd. And then you come here, and 808's like the most diverse room in DC, I think.
Like an Ethiopian,
dude, it's crazy.
A Nigerian, man. A Bolivian, like just like the most like miscellaneous.
Yeah, and
like,
trying to connect with everybody. It's like a really fun challenge, and I definitely feel like I've hit another level in like the last year or two.
Yeah. So I mean, that leads me to the next thing. Like, what was it? So the transition from like a small town in Virginia to here, besides like the diversity, what other like benefits do you? Because you talk about it on stage, how like you grew up around like more MAGA type people, and now you are on the more progressive side of things. Yeah, for sure. Like, how did that even? What made you transition?
It just was like, when I got to college, I moved a little farther left because I just met people with different viewpoints. I've just always, like, even when I was like a young Republican dude, I wasn't shutting down other people's conversations. Like, I was one of those guys that was like, no, if freedom of speech is the most important thing, we have to listen to what everybody's saying. We need to pay attention. And then I go to college and I'm hearing different opinions. Like, oh man, I kind of agree with this. And I get out of college and I start teaching. And then I'm like, oh, I'm talking to even more different people. And then I get into comedy, and it's the most diverse group of friends I've ever had in my life. And not only are you having conversations with comics after shows, you're watching them say their point of view into a microphone, and you're like, oh damn, they're making like really, really good points. And so so that's been like the greatest thing, is like getting into comedy, and in comedy with your jokes, you have to be able to defend your viewpoint, but also like afterwards comics chopping it up and just being like, hey, this is how I feel about this. This is what I think. And so it was a huge shift, and it took a long time for it to happen. But like moving from the middle of nowhere, and then like now I was in DC for a little bit. Now I'm in Alexandria, but just being in a larger metropolitan area in a really super killer diverse city, is I've just loved like learning. I've just learned so much, like, and just and have opened myself up to be like, I want to learn. I don't want to, like, I'm okay being educated. I don't know everything, and I'm comfortable with that. Where I think maybe in the past, if I had stuck with what I believed, I think I eventually would have gotten to a point where I was like, you can't tell me anything. Like, this is what's right. Like, this is what it is. And now it's like, nah, man, I'll listen to anybody. if they got something, because it's like I'm not smart, about everything. So
yeah, it's definitely more fun to be around a diverse
it's awesome.
group of people.
The food's better.
Food's way
people
better.
Really like it's truly great. And I grew up like in the South, the food is great, but man.
Yeah.
Southern food's one type of food, and then you come up here and you're like, oh man, I can still get soul food, and then you can also have like good Thai food. And dude, I mean I remember the first time I had a pupusa, and I was like, this is incredible. I was like, why have we been hiding pupusas from white people?
Let them all in.
Yeah, let them all in. I think that's the difference. If you gave everyone at the border a pupusa, they'd be like, holy shit,
dude.
Let these bad boys come in here, man. This is what they're doing.
Entry for 2 pupusas.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, global entry.
Dude, I think we're onto something there.
Well, I think we are too, man. I do think food's a great unifier, man.
100%.
I really do think like it's really hard to hate a group of people that makes.
If you started
food.
like reviewing Latino foods, in your voice with your look, you could change the whole
I've thought
landscape
about it,
of immigration.
I'll be honest with you, it's one of the things that
Here we have the most freshest pupusa in all of DC.
Yeah, it's so fun. I've been thinking about like other content stuff to do that's not just stand up, because now that I have a little bit of heat, I have noticed that the people that I respect the most that are doing more, it's like they're doing things that like kind of showcase their personality. Like it's not just their jokes. And one of the ones I have is like, DC is such a diverse city. I would love to do like a food review show. Like I would love to be like, not exactly what like Keith Lee is doing, but I would love to go somewhere.
Your
and
own
like,
version of it.
Yeah, own version. Like I want to go somewhere and I want to try food I've never had and have people from that culture show me this food and try to tell me about it, because I don't know anything about it.
I'll take you to some spots.
I would love that,
I got
dude.
some spots,
that would be awesome, man.
They love me out here.
I would love that, dude.
We'll go to the top pupusaria in the DMV. We'll go to Pollo Rico in Wheaton.
Yeah, dude, that's another thing that's changed is now when I'm back home and I'm talking about places, I'll throw the accent on when I'm saying the word.
Pollo Rico.
Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, man, we're up in DC and I went to this pupusaria. the way you say it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'll take you to some Bolivian food spots, Cantutas.
I've never had Bolivian food.
It's fantastic.
I know, I believe it, dude. I've never had Bolivian food, man. What's it known for? Like, is there a national dish?
Well, there's a lot of stews, but we got like silpancho.
Okay.
We got silpancho is like steak, eggs, and rice.
Bro.
And
then
we got salteñas. Salteñas is like you've had an empanada before, right?
Yeah.
So it's very similar. Instead of like the inside is like a stew. They have like a little beef stew or like a little chicken stew.
Man.
Yeah, it's very good.
Dude, that sounds awesome, man.
It's really good,
that's like
man.
Like a soup dumpling, but in an empanada type of thing where it's like, whoo, oh man, that sounds good, bro.
It hits different. It hits different, man. Yeah, our parties were always so lit. And then we had the Bolivian food, we had the Persian food, of course. And I got some Persian spots I could take you to. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I would love that, man. That would like be really fun, because I'm trying to think of things that like I wanted to do, which is I do want to explore more food. Try different things, because I just love, I don't know, man. Also just like when someone's talking to you about their favorite food, they like light up, dude. Like they feel like, especially when you're talking to someone that like they made it and they're so proud of what they made. And it's like, I don't know. I like bringing that type of joy out in people. It reminds me a lot of like how I feel when I write a new joke. I kind of see someone that's just like, oh yeah, this is my favorite food. Let's talk about this and that type of shit. So it's the thing that I'm definitely gonna take you up on that, because a salteña sounds awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That shit sounds so good.
Yeah, you eating a salteña would do wonders for the community. If we can go mainstream, because I mean, like we just got to go mainstream.
Yeah,
that's the problem, because it's so competitive with like foods. Like it's like, because the empanada, everyone knows the empanada, but no one knows about the salteña.
No one does. They should know, man.
Yeah.
Man, a stew, and that sounds unreal. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't put the whole Bolivian community on my back. I need a white friend.
Yeah, well, I got to do it. We'll pull them up together.
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah, man. So we got some other couple questions. Let me see. Let me see. I got one. It's like looking at my jokes list. I'm like, what was it like teaching autistic people? How is this a line in my fucking notes?
That's so funny. Yeah. What made me think?
Well, you talk about it on stage, and
yeah, man. I want to talk about it more. I used to talk about it a lot more, and then I took a break from it because I didn't want to like anytime I start talking. My thing is like I'll get like kind of obsessed with a topic, and then I want to write a bunch of jokes about it, whether it's like trans folks or guns or Trump or like anything like, or just there's stuff that I'll just hyper focus on. And I did that with teaching for a while, and I had like 20 to 30 minutes on teaching, and then they became my best jokes. But I didn't want to just be there's a lot of comics I respect that are like the teacher comic, but I just wanted to be a guy that talked about teaching, not to be the teacher comic. But there's stuff I want to come back and talk about, because it was like, that little 4-year period where I was teaching and doing comedy and I was figuring out how to do stand-up, like looking back on it, it was like, that was such a awesome balance, because I'd be in there working with kids with autism, and then they would like some days freak out and get physical with me and hit me, and then like other days they would love me.
Yeah.
And then like, but the way that I would speak to them to get them to like de-escalate and calm down, that it is like, it works for every human being on earth. Like, it's not just people with autism. So there's times where I'll be talking a comedian off a ledge and I'm talking to them like they're an autistic 7-year-old. And
yeah.
that's what you have
Little
to
did we
do.
know those students are now Netflix.
Yeah, they're not Netflix executives. That's how I got on. But do you see a comic being like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't get this spot, and so got this spot, and then I just come up to him and be like, oh yeah, man, that's really frustrating. I'd be frustrated too if that was me. It's like, so
you
what's
start
some
rubbing
things
their head. You start rubbing their head.
I'm like, so what are some things we could do? Because being mad's not fixing anything. So what are some things, and just trying to be productive, and it just kind of taught me how to like the big thing is it made me such a much better active listener, where it's like I am engaged with what this person's saying, because like if you quit paying attention for a minute, the students would realize it, and then they would freak out, be like, oh, you're not paying attention to me, you don't care about what the fuck I'm talking about, and you're like, oh man, I really need to like make eye contact and talk with you while we do this.
Damn, I know so many autistic people now that you said that.
Yeah, honestly, dude, it's like almost every comedian I know has some form of this thing that's like, oh shit, man, you need to really focus.
Dude, that's fucking, yeah. Damn, those are really good skill sets to have in general.
Yeah.
I think like, and you seem like a very well-balanced person. A lot of comics aren't well-balanced.
Yeah.
What are your vices, you think?
Eating, food's a big one. It's just like, I'll eat all day. I'll eat late at night.
Food is good, man.
Yeah, like it's like I don't drink anymore. I'll take an edible from time to time, but I'm taking an edible to eat.
Right.
Like I'm taking it so that I can enjoy the feeling of that. And like I'm way better now. I'm not good with money. Like I'm just not. I'm just someone that's like, I get it, and then I save just enough to like, this is what we pay my bills.
Well,
but
that's
I
why your
spend
wife's
what's
looking at
above
the
it.
contracts.
Yeah, but she's checking it out, being like, all right, she's already talking to me. She's like, all right, we're going to get a high yield savings account, and we got to make sure that we save 40% of what you make so that we can pay the taxes at the end of the year. Like she's doing all this math in her head, and I was like, okay, babe, whatever. I trust you. I believe you. But yeah, I'm someone that's just like, anytime I've had money, I like to spend it. I like to have a good time. I like to go out to dinner. I like to treat myself, go to the movies, concerts and stuff like that. So those are probably my big vices. It's just food, and then just like historically like not being great.
It's crazy because you look like a guy who's good at saving. Maybe it's the glasses.
It's purely the glasses,
yeah,
dude.
I'm you look like a guy who's like,
I'm savings
I'll keep receipts.
yeah. I have receipts. They're just in Ziploc bags.
Speaking of the way you look, they called you Drew Carey.
Yeah, I got that.
On the Netflix show, on Kevin Hart show. They called you, you look like you sold ice cream in the 1950s.
I like that one. That one was really funny. I thought that was a good roast joke. The ice cream in the 1950s, I was like, that was pretty good.
Yeah, what were some other like moments or roasts that stuck out to you on the...
Yeah, those are the ones I got pretty good. Like for the ones for me specifically is like Ron Taylor had a really good one where it took the audience a while to catch on, but when we were in the room, Ron was like, Winston's a good guy. And he kept saying I was a good guy, and the big build was to be like, he's trying to be nice to me because he thinks I'm a serial killer, and he thinks I'm going to kill everybody on the dais or whatever.
I like that one.
He's like,
cool.
Winston's going to get on Netflix one way or the other, whether it's a documentary or a special. And I was like, that's so good. So that was probably my favorite. The ice cream at the 1950s is the one that I've gotten the most messages about. People being like of someone else's joke. They're just like, I love that joke. We could tell you guys are good friends. And I was like, yeah.
Just follow me, buy tickets, please.
Yeah, please, for the love of God. I was like, yeah, you can call me that to my face if you buy the VIPs. We'll do it in the meet and greet. You can say whatever you want to me.
Dude, that's so funny, man. All right.
Yeah, man, I'm nervous about because now I'm like, do I run ads? Like, yeah, okay, and that's the main thing is I haven't run ads before, so trying to figure out how to run ads and shit.
Off camera, bro, I'm happy to tell you a whole,
sick,
I got
dude.
all the, I've been doing this shit.
Because we got
I'm so enjoying this moment with you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude.
Because I feel like I'm watching someone that because I'm almost enjoying my moment through you.
Vicariously, the type of thing.
Well, because I get to I have no pressure.
There's no pressure.
I don't have to tell anyone. Like, I'm saying that I'm still booked through December.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to Albuquerque this Friday, but I don't care because I did the thing.
Yep.
I conquered whatever I thought it was or whatever I wanted. I did it.
Yeah.
And my goal now is to get back to find that the love for the game again.
Yeah. That's awesome,
that's what the intention behind this is.
Well, that's awesome, man.
Is to kind of like find that spark. It's like that Rocky analogy of like when he already won.
Yeah.
And he lives in the big house with the silk sheets and he has the hot wife and and I'm like, why would I subject myself to a open mic humiliation ritual?
Yeah.
But that's what it takes.
Yeah.
That's eventually I will go back to how I will show up and do the thing. But I'm enjoying. I want to.
The thing that like helps me continue to grind, because there's times where I feel that way too, where I'm like, why am I going to this mic? Why am I going to do this? Is there is a level of like, they are happy to see you. Like there is that small thing, which is like, oh, the show might be really bad, but like if you popped into certain places, they'd be like, oh man, it's really cool, Martin came. And there's this almost, they appreciate it, and then that kind of push you through. Like, oh man, like it's not lost on people that it's like, oh, we can't believe that, he's dropping in and working on stuff. Because I get that. There are definitely times where I'm like, shit, man, I sure would love to be at home with my wife and my dogs.
I was just about to say, that give it a couple more years of marriage.
Yeah.
And your wife's gonna be like, where were you? Were you at Room 808, Hot Pet DC Improv? No, baby, I was at the bar doing a mic. Yeah. Well, why the fuck were you there?
Why didn't you come home? Why didn't you do that?
If it's not a paid gig, you better be. Because that's what it comes. Because this is just what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I'm not even.
It's just reality. We're done.
Because once you start doing all these dates, the time at home, you really gotta like hone it, like lock in on the time management thing, and you'll be able to do. I'm sure you will be like, yeah, do hotbed, do 808. Yeah. But you can't that third, fourth spot. It's like all right, you got to reel it back.
That's fair. I'm gonna enjoy it while I can until she puts the foot down and locks in to get your ass home.
Yeah, because I think when you have those in between days between the cities, those are the ones you got to really.
I mean, and I will say this was the first time where like I got in yesterday from Vegas. I mean, yesterday afternoon from Vegas, and then I had multiple spots that I could do, but I took off. I was like, no, we're going to take off. And we did like a really nice dinner. We went to like this Chinese place in like Crystal City that was really good. So we did that. And
it's good, bro. Yeah. It's going to, in the long run.
And it was nice. It felt good. I didn't feel bad about missing spots or whatever. And then now I'm like, oh, I'm out today and I get to go do stuff. So I feel pretty good.
Yeah. That was something I had to learn along the way too, with the, taking a break from the, but I'm going to get back into it. I'm doing this new venture where I'm like spending time with homies and like having these talks.
Cool,
and
man.
like
it's a good conversation.
Kind of like enjoying it, and
well, it's been weird seeing your career as like blowing up as a comic and then also just being a successful club owner. Like it's you know what I mean? Like it's two, because it's usually a thing that like, dude, people don't do both.
Can I tell you, last night when I was doing security for Usama Siddiqui, there was an energy I had. I felt like I was selling ice cream again in the ice cream truck.
That's so funny.
I felt, and I got a rush. I was feeling this rush when I was telling, back of the line, guys. No, this is if you're on the first show, pictures, because there was the second show line was out there watching, like people take pictures, and I'm like, hey, get in there.
You'll get your
turn
second
later.
Show.
So I'm enforcing that.
Damn, dude.
And I felt like I was like, dude, I could see myself being an old man doing this.
Yeah, and I think there's just something about like generally, you'll see people that they just don't. Not everybody does both. Not everybody stays a comic and runs the business. You know what I mean? And then like to be able to do both, and you can go do your own thing, come back, do spots at your club, like run when you want to. This you're expanding. It's getting good, bro.
Getting expanding, and then I'm telling you, I'm gonna get back into the when I feel I need to feel it. Like I need to find the POV, what's gonna be. Because I was talking to Charlene about it, and I was just like, it all happened really fast. Yeah. And I went from living at my parents' house being a poor guy to like having everything I ever wanted, like all my dreams. Sold out 3 shows at the Lincoln, did the Warner,
sick.
Like,
that's so
like
sick.
Just, and I was like, all right, like now what do I talk? Like, I was doing a lot of jokes about taxes at one point, and like, I just like, is this, it's because that was like, for me, it was like very new. I was
it's
like,
new. It's like, I'm doing it. I get it, dude.
I was like, I pay how much?
I've been doing jokes about having health insurance for the first time in a long time, and it's very focused on the specifics of having health insurance.
Yeah, same
And there's
thing.
times where I get off stage and I'm just like, I don't really know if that was what I should have been talking about, but that's what we got to do.
Well, because it's very new to us.
Yeah.
And it feels because you're going through that whole process of like
crazy.
Finding a primary doctor that you like.
Yeah, having a PCP, man. I'm a primary care physician. That's the it's the move. I was at the doctor's appointment earlier today, and I was writing down ideas like, oh, I'll talk about this at the doctor's appointment, because I got recognized by the nurse.
Oh, that's awesome.
The nurse recognized me or whatever, but he left the room, and then 15 minutes later he came back, and I was like, oh, finally the doctor's here, and he was just like, can I get a selfie?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, we can do a selfie, man. I was
Dude,
like,
that's awesome. From the Netflix show?
Yeah, from the Netflix thing. He's like, are you a comedian? I was like, yeah, I'm a comedian. He goes, I just saw you on Kevin Hart, man. And he like dapped me up and stuff, and I was like, cool, man, can you get the doctor, please?
Yeah.
I'd love to get out of here.
Does that feel surreal still? Like getting recognized?
It's really surreal, and
from being like kind of like an anonymous homie to like
and maybe eventually I won't like it. I love it. It's like really,
nah, dude, enjoy it.
It's very
man.
validating, and people
sick.
are really kind, and like this is my first time having fans. Like I have people reaching out saying they're huge fans. They love you. We can't wait to see you when you come to our city. And I'm just trying to be really gracious. And it's like, at least for now, until unless it gets to a point to where like I physically can't do it, I'm trying to respond to every DM. I'm trying to like make myself available, trying to be very gracious. And then like when I see people in person, just giving them like, I got time for them. And it's like, cause I don't know, I this could go away at any moment. So it's like, I want to just enjoy these things. And I want people just to be like, man, Winston's a good dude. He's a good guy. Like I like he's really funny, but also like he talked to me and stuff like that.
Well, we'll see in 1 year after a fame,
like if I actually get famous,
he like becomes a dick. I'm like, hey, you want to come back on the show? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, dog.
That's so funny.
He's on a jet somewhere. That's cool. So, what are any like specific like goals, dreams that now that you're starting your tour?
Yeah, I think the big goal is I would love to like sell well enough that these places want me back. Like literally, I'm just trying to keep it small. Where it's just like I want to go in.
You'll get there. Yeah, you'll get there, brother. You'll get there. And then what's the next? And after that,
and then after that, I would love to, even though it might not be huge financially, it might not make a big thing on my career, but it's like I'd love to do like a late night set. I'd love to do the Tonight Show. I think that would just be like a fun thing to do, and then just kind of expand out from there. Like it's like I already talked to my agent about like I would be interested in doing some voiceover work. I would love to voice like on cartoons and stuff, and just trying to find what that next step is. And then the big goal is in like, however many years down the line, it would be fun to move from clubs to small theaters. And I think that's kind of where my brain's at. And like, cause then when I think about like, if I'm moving to small theaters, then it means I'm selling really well at the clubs, which means when I do a club date, I can do like more interesting stuff. Cause I have like other interesting show ideas that I sometimes do where it's like, all right, I would love to do an early show as my jokes, and the late show is like I have this show that I've done a few years in a row at the Loft where I bring like a giant board out and it's got like 20 premises on it, and I don't know what the premises are, but they're numbered 1 to 20, and people in the audience yell them out, and I'm doing crowd work while flipping these things over, and I'm doing jokes about like the topics that I don't know. And I would love to like do that at like a bigger scale that's not just like a club show with like 40 or 50 people at it. So I think just trying to expand and grow, but also the big one is like just want to remain present and gracious and and enjoy it and try to enjoy it. So, but it's going crazy, man. Oh, yeah. We just announced the DC date today. So
congratulations, man. I saw that. What's
exciting.
The date?
It's going to be July 22nd at the DC Comedy Loft, one show, but if it sells well, they're going to add a second show.
Let's go,
that's the goal. So if we can get to 2 shows in the hometown, it'd be like, it's going to be fun. I'm excited about it.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother. It feels good, man.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking all happening. I think it's going to sell out, man. You got a lot of fans in the DC area. Yeah. A lot of fans know you from here, the Room 808, and you're a regular here. And yeah, man, it's gonna be good things, man. Any last words? Any last? I feel like we had a really good.
No, I've had a good talk, man. No,
this was
my only last words are come see me live, follow me at Winston H Comedy, join my email list to let you know when I'm in town. And then this one is like it always throws me off when you say Charlene's name, because that's my mom's name. I don't know if I ever told you that Charlene is my mom's name, and so it's a thing where like every time I hear you talking about my brain just triggers like, oh, is my mom here? That's crazy.
I forgot. I wrote this down. I said when we saw you on, we were watching Netflix, the show you were on, the funny dude, you look like, it's weird to say, but you look so cute on TV. Because like, you know how like you have the camera pans a lot to like you show the camera, and then whenever you get that like 1 second, whenever like you're like you do this like little look, you're just so happy that I'm like, dude, oh, look at
I was so happy to be there that I was like, man, I just felt really lucky. Like it just felt like lucky, and the whole time it was weird. I was on that show And the entire time I'm thinking about the next step, because I knew once I got on, and I kept making it after each round. And I kept being like, I'm going to get more opportunities after this. And it's like, but I just was thinking about like, how do I kill those opportunities? How do I like, do that type of thing?
Dude, you played it so right.
Yeah.
And like, was like the experience with Kevin Hart, Chris
unreal.
Rock, all that stuff, was it good? Or?
Yeah, it was really good, man. Kevin's great. Like the time he spent with us was great. Every comic was good. Chris was the only one that looked like he did not want to fucking be there at all. Like that dude did not look.
Why do you think they had him there?
Dude, I think it's just they were like, who's the biggest name we could get? And I think that was the biggest name of Kevin's friends he could get. I think I low-key think if he could have gotten like Chappelle, he would have had Chappelle over Chris. Like I think it just was which of his big name friends was available. And I think Chris did him a solid and had him come on, but I don't think Chris really got the assignment. Or like understood what the show was.
Yeah, he kind of just like was like, he just like looked, he was like, Drew Carey.
Drew Carey. Yeah.
But he was like probably the nicest to you out of everybody. Like he was like pretty rough on some of them.
He was pretty rough on people, and then like, so he was pretty rough on like everybody. And then during someone else's set, like after mine, he was like, that last guy killed. And he was talking about me during someone else's review. And so, but everyone else, but like, he just didn't, I don't know, man. I don't think he got like this was, hey, we're being generous to these people and we're like trying to help them out. Like Chelsea Handler got it, Kumail got it, Keegan, Mike Segura, they all, Nikki Glazer, it was all like, we're using our powers for good right now. Yeah. And I think Chris was like, nah, man. Fuck that.
Such a comic thing to do,
exactly.
too. Like,
fuck these kids, man.
Yeah, fuck these kids, man. And then, are you still cool with all the other like comics on the show?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna swing by and say hey to Usama tonight. It's like, everyone I'm friends with a lot of people who were on it, but everyone in the top 10, we spent so much time together, and there was so much time leading up to it that we were talking to each other that it was like, I think they're all great comics. Everyone has like a really different, unique style. I would recommend going to see all of them live, but like, it was weird because I'm so used to those competition shows. There's always like one person you can hate and not like and root against, and that didn't feel like that was how this was at all. Like there were so many people that liked everybody, and I got a lot of DMs that were like, truly people being like, hey, I didn't vote for you because you weren't like my number one. They're like, but I'm going to buy tickets to see you because I think you're great. And I think that's what I want people.
That's such an interesting,
It's a weird way to say that. You could just say you're buying fucking tickets. They're like,
you
hey,
weren't my number one.
It's like, hey, I voted for Usama, or I voted for Caitlin, or like I loved Ron. They're like, but you were really good. I'm still going to come see you. And that's kind of what I hope is I didn't want people to watch it and be like, I'm only allowed to like one of these comics. It's like, no, you're allowed to have a favorite. Like I had like every
your tour is like your third favorite comic tour.
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny. The top. Yeah.
I mean, it's a funny name.
Yeah, I've gotten so many sideways comments, but they're all positive. They're all like underhanded.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just like it's every now and then I'll get a couple that are like, "Don't give up," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Don't give up.
You're gonna make it one day.
Yeah,
like, all right.
Yeah, it's like it's never occurred to me, but I'm trying to take it.
That happened to me last night when I was doing security. They're like, "Hey man, you were funny. For a security guy, you funny, man.
For a security guy, you're funny as hell, man.
Yeah, man. I saw you on that. So you were good, man. Keep at it. Keep at it. You gonna be on some things too." I'm like, "Thank you, man. I appreciate that."
Because you just have to. You can't like internalize. You just have to take it as like. It's less what they're saying and more like you're saying it because you are trying to be nice. Like you're doing the best you can. You don't understand how big of an asshole you sound like right now telling me this, but that's so funny.
Do you have a podcast?
I do, man. It's called Dog Name Podcast. It's new. I just have a comic on and we shoot the shit a little bit. We've been talking about the Netflix show a lot, but it's been really fun, man. I'm going to start having some clips coming out. I got a clip guy now, so I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, Dog Name, you can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Run it up.
Shit, man. Go check it out. But
hell yeah, brother. All right, man. Winston Hodges. Follow him on all social media. We'll put the graphics here. My name is Martin Amini. Thank you for watching, man. One of the first few episodes of the Martin Amini Show.